Hello everyone, it's Switz here, and welcome to our first Rimworld mod review series. Now, I've been wanting to do some mod reviews of this game, and I figured with all of the Star Wars mods that are currently created for this game, I figured that we would make a series out of it, and we would just go through. Each episode is gonna cover a few different mods, and on screen there will be a list of them right now. I'm really excited. I've toyed around with a little bit of these mods, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth than what I've already done, so this will be a learning experience for the both of us. These mods are really in depth, really good Star Wars lore in them, and so, like I said, super exciting to see the stuff that people have created. And so this series is going to be really entertaining for both me and hopefully for you. So if you're interested in seeing these mods in action, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And I'm actually putting quite a bit more effort into these videos than my usual Rimworld videos. And so I'd really appreciate it if you guys could just leave some feedback and hit the like button. And there will be numerous episodes just on these Star Wars mods to come. The first episode here, we're going to be focusing on the Force mod. And so what you'll notice is that if you go through each of our characters' bios, a few of them are Force apprentices. It can also be Force sensitive. And so what that does is it gives them, you'll notice on the Force sensitive pawns, there is this Force tab. And as they do tasks, this bar will load slowly, and it will give them Force powers. And so you can kind of decide, it gives you a tree, and there's an RPG element to it where you can decide to be a Sith or a Jedi and explore all of the different Force powers that comes with each side. And so I have two in this colony, and I want to take one down the Sith path and one down the Jedi path and just kind of explore all the different Force powers that come with it. All of the other colonists are unable to learn the Force, but we may get some colonists as time goes on, and so I'm super excited for this playthrough and to see just where it can take us. You will notice as well, this map looks very different than what the base game Rimworld has, and that is because we are on a modded version where it takes all of the different let's load our map here and I'll just show you what I mean exactly, but it takes all of the different biomes and it changes them. So you'll see we have Mustafar, Geonosis, Bespin, Endor. I'll go through. There's a video that I'll be putting up. You can click on it at the top right of your screen, and it will highlight each of the different realms and what they look like, or each of the different biomes, I should say, and what they look like. And there's quite a few of them, as you can see. We have Tatooine, and so I'd really like to see all of the different options that you have to start with this mod, and so I'll be covering that as well in another video. But for now, this video is going to mainly focus on learning your Force powers originally, getting a foundation for this series, and establishing our landing spot and where we're going to be building. The one complaint I will have is that these trees are absolutely massive, and I've played through on, I believe it was Endor, and on now this map, and it is not the easiest to see what you're doing, and the trees do provide an extreme amount of resources. We also have a Star Wars creatures pack as well, so you will be seeing some animals that are not normally in the Rimworld game, but that's all part of the fun, right? This is a complete Star Wars revamped Rimworld version, and so I'm excited to see what comes of this playthrough. But for now, we will get all of our pawns equipped with a weapon. I'll get everything set up, and then we will start base planning, which will be a montage, and then we will get into the Force sensitive traits. I'll be right back. The definition of the Force Apprentice trait is they just they feel the Force around them, and so they need to be Force sensitive in order to actually learn, but the Force just exists in the world and they learn more as time goes on, which is a really cool way of leveling them up. And so that's kind of going to be the focus of the beginning here, is just getting them doing as much tasks as possible until they can learn whatever they can and get that first level, and then we can explore the Force tree a little bit and see what it's all about. You will notice down here as well, the Rebel Alliance has declared war on the Galactic Empire. Infighting may occur on your territory, which is also a really cool. I've had the Empire and the Rebels come through my map on my other playthrough, and it's really cool just to see the interactions that you can have with them, as well as all the other tribes. I don't think we looked at the other tribes, but there's factions here, so you can see that there's the droid army, we have the Galactic Empire, the guns, pirates, the rebels, Misery Rig. Yeah, so we have quite a few different factions, as well as the base ones that the game has to offer, but I just wanted to show that off as well. We will explore that again later on, but we all are also near an ancient danger. Oh, right on the other side of our base. That's probably not the best, but once we get some Force powers, it would be cool to test them out on the ancient danger and just see how effective it actually is. We will add some recreation variety, but again, it's a love-hate relationship I have with these trees. They really just block pretty much everything, and you're not able to actually see anything that's going on. The nice thing is that the animals and everything do float above it, and so it does have that going for it, but again, it's not my favorite part of this mod. Having the different biomes in maps is pretty cool, I will give it that, but yeah, it's kind of a hindrance to not be able to see your map, so I'm glad that everything does show through. And I'm also noticing that they are not doing any growing right now. That's because a lot of them are assigned to construct. Let's just take off Jendo. I think with him growing, he will actually learn his Force abilities faster. They do learn them relatively quickly. I didn't feel like I was out of things to do before they hit level 2, some of them, and so there's a pretty good balance there, and we'll see Jendo's Force as they are planting here. So you can see it's rising fairly quickly when she is doing all of these tasks, which is really cool. But we will jump ahead here until they do have that first level and kind of explore that tree and what those Force abilities may look like. Another important thing I forgot to mention is we are playing on the Zwellic faction. It adds a new scenario, and that's why we're starting with 5 colonists. The research is really behind. It kind of sucks. Like, you don't even have complex furniture at this point. You're unable to make a bed. Just basic things that it would be nice to have. But it's a little slow to start. They do also all start out very hungry with no food, and so that is something to keep in mind as well. It's not the most ideal starting scenario, but it is a little challenging, and so there is an upside to it and a downside to it, and so all of the mods that I'm using will be in the description down below, and you can try out any of these for yourself as I describe them, and if it's something you'd like to try, the link to download it will be down below. Now we do have a pistol here. We obviously cannot afford it with how much they're charging for it, but we will take their component as well as their meals. This is going to set us back quite a bit of our silver, but we need some food up front here until ours is finished growing. We could also slaughter our animals as well, but we'll probably leave that for now. Just nice to have few extra meals to get them through this short period of starvation. And let's get Star to eat this last package before someone else gets to it, as they are pretty low on food here. Okay, you will see we have our first force point here, and so let's just explore what that all encompasses. And so Gendo has the new force ability, and so here is your tree, and so you can pick lightsaber abilities as well as a force pool. The force pool will decrease force pool consumption by 15% per skill point. Now these are the powers that I actually really enjoyed. Since Gendo is going to be our Sith playthrough, we will be looking at these as well as these. I haven't used these just yet, but let's explore some of these. And so first we have Force Rage, which causes an enemy, you can hover over these skill points here. It will give them a mental state of Berserk, a 70% chance, and as you level it up, it goes 85 and 95% chance. The Force Choke, which will stun the enemy and provide some damage as well, which of course goes up as you level up, as all of them do. The Force Drain, which drains the life force of your opponent. It does a little bit of damage, and I don't know if it does anything other than that. The cooldown decreases as you level that up. The Force Lightning, which has been my favorite skill that I have used, it just, like I was saying, allows you to pick a target and shock them with a lightning bolt. It's pretty cool. And then this one, you need to be actually on the dark side of the alignment, but the Force Storm will cause a large area to have a storm, and so the range is 10 and the max targets is 2, and then as you go up the targets increase. Pretty cool. You need 9 dark side points to use it, and I was tagging a little bit on this, but the alignment kind of wavers by which side of the skill points you are picking. And so right now he's a gray Jedi, and he can use both light and dark powers. And then the higher level abilities require commitment to the dark or the light side. And so I guess we'll go through these as well, but the Jedi can heal themselves, heal another target, Force Defense, which will protect them from any damage, Jedi Mind Trick, which uses the Force to influence the weak-minded, and they will wander aimlessly. Starts with a 70% chance of that, and then 85 and 95. And then the Force Ghost, which summons a ghost to aid you in combat. 120-second cooldown, and I haven't actually got to use this one either. I haven't explored that far. The other 3 options are the Force Push, Force Pull, and Force Speed. The Force Speed I've experimented with a little bit, but for now we are going to upgrade the Force Lightning, and I'll show that off here in a second. So when we are on Gendo's character, say that you're being raided and they are recruited, let's just put it into play here. You can at any point click this Force Lightning, and you can see the range of his attack. So, and you can highlight, we won't attack our animal just yet, we might save them for a meal later, but we'll wait until we get close to an animal that is safe to attack. Let's go with this chinchilla here. And so let's bring him closer to the chinchilla, and then we will turn on our Force Lightning and use that power, and it's an instant kill on the chinchilla. So really powerful ability to have. I actually really like having the Force Lightning. My favorite one that I've experimented with so far, like I had said. And Terra should be coming. Oh, Terra is very far behind. I wonder what we've been having them do. So Terra is... that's why she's not really doing a whole lot of tasks right now, so we will change that. We will give this we will call it, our faction name should be the Star Wars, or we'll name ourselves the Zwellic Tribe of YouTube. This settlement will be called let's just randomize that. Let's go with the green pit, seeing as there's pretty much nothing but green to see on this entire map because of these massive trees. But yeah, we will be waiting for Terra. Let's reassign her abilities here. Let's get her maybe growing, plant cutting, and constructing. I'm sure that there will be something in that range for her to do, and maybe be a little bit more on top of things. The Ambrosia Sprouts, so like I had said, that's the only real disadvantage to these maps, is that you really can't see anything unless you chop down these trees. I'm sure that the maps like Tatooine would be different, of course. Make sure, if you're interested, check out that highlight video I've got up highlighting each of the maps. But yeah, that's my biggest complaint about this playthrough, is just how difficult it is to see the actual map with this mod. And so this is the beginning of your interaction with the Empire. A tax officer named Vladlena Soto extends a declaration on behalf of the Empire. Basically, right now you have to pick if you're going to be friends with the Empire or not. It requires you to pay 100 silver up front, as well as 20% of all silver earned throughout the year as a tax. And I haven't tried to pay the taxes. I don't really like this, having this over my colony. Plus, we've spent all our silver, and so we're going to reject their demands, and you will see you instantly become hostile to the Galactic Empire. He reports a code into the communicator and draws their weapon. Now, I don't think they're actually on the map. That's just a coded script that comes. Oh, they are on the map. We need to get this guy out of here right away. I didn't have them actually attack the first time I denied them. I think they just leave the map after this, but I can't be certain. Yeah, I think they do leave the map after this. We're not really prepared to fight these guys. They do have blasters and all sorts of weapons, which we will examine a bit later on, but you can see there's a blaster rifle, just a regular blaster, the DL-44 blaster, and I missed the other one, but yeah, all Star Wars weapons. Like I said, the Star Wars lore in this game is actually really good for these mods. I'm pretty impressed with everything that they do have. So guys, it did happen. We did lose Amy. Unfortunately, she died of the plague. It is bound to happen in a playthrough like this, where you just have such little amount of resources and research at the beginning. You will lose a few colonists. I also didn't really pay too much attention to her because we are focusing on Terra and Jen Do, but yeah, unfortunately, it is just something that happens occasionally. The good news is that Jen Do is almost ready to select another, or gain another power. Terra is still not quite there. For some reason, she's just not learning as quickly, which is unfortunate, but she will get there. And then I think we're going to expand out the Force Lightning a little bit more on Jen Do. Like earlier, it slaughtered the chinchilla in one blast, and I really want to get it just to max right away. I think it'll help a lot when it comes to raids and that kind of thing. We are also researching complex furniture right now, something that we will focus on in the future. It takes quite a bit to get into. You do need high-tech research bench and a multi-analyzer, but you can build the Razor Crest with the Razor Crest mod, and I'd really like to explore that mod quite a bit. I think you can fly the ship around to the different biomes and use it for a very fast speed of travel. I haven't looked into that mod at all, but I know that it does come with guns and can take up to 8 colonists on it, and so it should be really interesting to see how this thing goes, but that will be obviously in a much later episode, maybe part 5 or 6. I'm planning on being part 6 of this series. We will be fast tracking through a lot of the normal Rimworld content. If you want to see just normal Rimworld playthrough, make sure to check out my channel. We do have the Rich Explorer scenario going on there. We're on episode, I think, 5 now by the time this goes up, and so it will be, yeah, that's more of just the kind of ins and outs of Rimworld. We have a few quality of life mods going on, but nothing too serious, and so yeah, make just a little plug for that series as well. But we have finished the research on the furniture, and I think the other thing that would be important for us to do right away is our smithing. We also have complex clothing. We can make Jedi robes and Sith robes, so we'll probably do that as well before we move further down the line. But yeah, smithing, I think getting those two done and then moving on, getting electricity researched and having a proper freezer working would be our next steps after that. We have also cleared quite a lot of those trees. They were just really irritating me. I couldn't see anything on this base, and so now we can actually see what our rooms look like, and I'm realizing we forgot to add a dumping stockpile zone, and so we will add that as well, probably just down here for now, and get some of these chunks out of our living area. So let's haul everything in there and let that run its course. Yeah, we should probably get some defenses going as well. Again, this is a lot of stuff I'll do off camera, but here we can see we have the Bantha cows. If you've watched The Mandalorian, one of the most recent episodes, they have a lot of these guys in them. Tusken Raiders, the Tusken Raiders are using them as cannon fodder. It's quite the episode, but yeah, anyways, just wanted to show you guys kind of where we're at as a progress. And we are coming up close to the end of the episode. Tara is getting close to her Jedi skill, and I think we are going to use the heal others. It is super helpful in combat. It saves you from a lot of infections and that kind of thing, and so we will be picking that trait. If we just take a look at her force log here, she is very, very close. She will reach it by the end of my paragraph here, but we will be going through her heal others trait. It's nice to have, and yeah, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. We're highlighting as many Star Wars mods as we can find, and so we will be exploring a lot of these different options and pathways. But yeah, if you're liking this series, hit the subscribe button and let me know with that like. Give me a like and just let me know that you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment, and if you know of any other Star Wars mods that you would like to see, maybe your computer can't handle modded Rimworld, or maybe you just don't actually have the game and are interested in these mods, or want to see what it's like before you download it, let me know and I'll do my best to cover it in this series. But yeah, we will, as I was saying, we will choose the heal other ability. Really helpful for combat. You can heal them from, I believe, from afar. Let's just see here. Yeah, so you can heal up to this level, and we probably wouldn't have lost Amy to the plague had we had that ability, and so really excited to have that as well as the lightning. I think this is going to be a really cool exploration of these two characters and see what happens with them. But yeah, anyways, I'm ItSwitz, and I will catch you on the next episode of our Star Wars mods Rimworld let's play kind of thing we got going on. Catch you later. Bye bye.